Hi, Chef Ryan here. Being almost surrounded by water on the Korean peninsula, the amount of seafood dishes is nearly endless. But today's dish is more uniquely Korean than most. It's a spicy braised codfish with this mountain of soybean sprouts. That is Daegujjim. Now, colder months in Korea mean cod is in season, and we get this beautiful cod of all different sizes here in Korea. If you can't find this, you could use catfish or Chilean sea bass would work really well, but it is a good idea to maybe have it a little bit on the bone or skin on. That way it'll help hold it together. Now we're gonna take our cod, get it into a bigger bowl here. This is about 800 grams. Now I'm gonna get a little bit of salt on here, and 4 tablespoons of rice wine. And just give that a quick mix. Now let's let this sit for about 10 or 15 minutes while we get our braising liquid going. To start our braising liquid, we're gonna go and make a broth here with some dried anchovies. I'm gonna go in with 6 of these. The heads and guts are removed as usual. Now I've got 15 grams of dashima or dried kelp. And then this one we haven't used on the show before. This is midodok, or it's a sea squirt. And what it does, it's not to eat itself, it's actually to flavor this broth. And it has this really lovely depth of seafood flavor. If you can't find these, you're welcome to use maybe clams or any other seafood just to richen up this broth. I'm going in with just 5 of these. Next, we've got 800 milliliters of water. All right, let's get the heat on here. We're gonna let this go for about 8 minutes. While all those seafood flavors are coming together in that braising liquid, we're gonna start our sauce. It's gonna thicken that up. Here we go, first off, with Korean red chili flakes. I've got 3 tablespoons. Next, we're going in with 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of minced ginger, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of mayshil or plum syrup. Let's mix everything up here. Let's give this a little taste. That's it. Definitely got some sweetness there, but then it's counterbalanced by all that garlic and that gochugaru, the red chili flakes. 8 minutes is up, so it's time to get these things out of our broth here. This smells amazing. The smell reminds me of when you go out to the East Sea in Korea and you go to the little fishing villages, to all the restaurants around the docks. Now that we've got that flavor base there, let's go ahead and add more to it with our cod. These are going in. And place in all of that sauce. Let's just stir this up a little bit, and we need to let this start going for about 10 minutes while we work on some other things. Now, what really makes this dish uniquely Korean is this next ingredient, the soybean sprouts. These things are so gorgeous, and they give this amazing crunch to this jjim. I've got some boiling water here going. I've got 250 grams of soybean sprouts going in. This should only take about a minute or maybe 2 minutes tops. They're just barely cooked through. They still have a nice little crunch to them. So I want to stop that cooking in this ice water as quickly as possible. These are nice and cold now, so I'm going to strain them off. They've gone just barely translucent. Just a few more ingredients to prep up. We're going to start with these Korean leeks or daegujjim. Cut them into about 3-inch pieces, then down the middle. And this way we can get almost like little strips of them. Now let's spice things up a little bit with these gochujang. These have about the same heat level as a jalapeno. I'm going in with 2 of these today. This next one is one of my favorites. It's known as minari or water parsley. If you can't find this, I think watercress is probably the closest substitute. I'm just gonna break this down into some smaller pieces. All right, now I'm done prepping all the veg. Let's go ahead and get it plated up here. Oh, yeah, strong flavors in there. This is about done. The codfish is cooked. So let's go in with our vegetables. We've got our Korean leek and our water parsley and our green chilies going in. And now all of our soybean sprouts. All right, this is getting back up to a boil, so that means we've got one more ingredient to go in just to thicken all this up and make it nice and sticky. I've got potato starch 1-to-1 with water, a little starch slurry, and this is going in. Now, once you get that potato starch slurry in there, it's only gonna take about a minute to thicken this up. This is all done. Let's go ahead and plate it up here. The starch has made our sauce nice and sticky. The kongnam will still have a nice crunch on them, those soybean sprouts. We are almost done. Just want to garnish this with a few things. I've got some toasted sesame oil here. Now just a little toasted sesame seeds. And finally, just a little bit more of the minari. Daegujjim is done. Time to dig into this very uniquely Korean dish. When I first came here, I honestly thought that these might be noodles. I just couldn't imagine that a main dish like this would have so many bean sprouts. But it's such a lovely, contrast, that crunch that you get from these suckers. Cooked beautifully. You don't want to overcook your fish, and you definitely don't want to overcook those bean sprouts and have them be mushy. This is great, bright crunch. Let's try some of our cod here. lovely tender. And then you got all this braising liquid.